Zarda, the Wonder Woman of Marvel Comics. Before I even get started with anything, what if I told you there was a version of Zarda out there that fought a version of Man-God called the Unstoppable All-God that she's blocking attacks from? This isn't the main universe version of Man-God, but she's fighting an alternate reality version of one and still doing this good. This is impressive. The main universe Man-God has powers like biting off of the Destroyer's armor and craziness, and overwhelm armies led by Odin. Imagine shooting a film or commercial or something of that sort, and everything's going well, but then a wardrobe malfunction happens on set, and the embarrassment just gets real. But she totally owns it. That's Zarda for you. I usually don't do this on my Marvel videos, but Zarda, the Power Princess, is one of those characters where she has a ton of different versions that have comic appearances other than just the 616. So just because of that, the Power Princess, I'm going to do different versions of her strength feats in the same video, something I usually don't do. It's a special type of scenario. Just to give you an idea of the different versions of feats of strength and power, speeding, etc., I'm going to go over in this video. But if we're talking about like one of her major first appearances, this version I would say is literally like the closest thing we're going to get to Marvel Wonder Woman, the Power Princess, Earth 712. You can see which Earth she's on based on the different characters in this background. She's one of the Utopians, an advanced genetic offshoot of humanity that lived on Utopia Isle on the other dimensional Earth of Squadron Supreme. She was sent to the United States as their ambassador during World War II, joined the Golden Agency, blah, blah, blah. For the most part, the other realities have origins similar to this, but they have little slight differences here and there, though. It's obvious she has super strength, agility, better physique than average, can fly apparently through psionic levitation. They explain the nuances here, talking about the Utopia possess a genetic structure which makes possible their superhuman powers, and in part to Utopia's unique methods of physical and mental training. For genetic reasons, Power Princess, like other Utopians, ages far more slower than normal human beings. Hence, although she has lived in the United States for over 40 years, she is still physically a young woman. And she's a great fighter. Despite her having superhuman attributes, no matter which continuity, she seems to be a trained warrior, even practicing from time to time, no matter which continuity, really. Powerhouses with fighting skills is always scary, ain't it? She's always had fighting training, no matter which universe, with a blade, shield, etc. A good way to get an understanding of her fighting skills is when she's depowered. No super strength or nothing, and her fighting skills are still on point, very on point. When I said it. She uses weapons like a shield made from an unknown artificial material perfected by the scientists of Utopia. The shield can resist any form of conventional small arms. Power Princess not only uses the shield for protection, but also hurl it as a weapon. And in this handbook, they talk about it more, Earth 712 and Earth 616. But I wouldn't call her necessarily 616 because she was born on Earth 712, you know? Notice her different looks, different outfits over the years. And they pretty much explain her origin here. Millennia ago, an alternate world, Earth 712, aka Earth S, the alien Kree experimented on humans, creating a new subspecies, developing far faster than mainstream humanity. The subspecies isolated themselves, creating an advanced civilization on Utopia. Zarda was roughly born 500 years ago when World War II started. The Utopians chose Zarda as their missionary of peace to the outer world, and all this kind of good stuff. Like this, you can read all about her powers and abilities. 6'8", 240 pounds. Similar to powerhouses that have weird durability like Wonder Woman, she not bulletproof apparently. I mean, she literally explains it best. She's from Utopia, a small island in the Southern Sea, whose civilization has remained isolated from humanity. Doesn't that sound like Wonder Woman? But there's a couple differences. They are the genetic result of experimentation conducted upon the human species long ago by beings we know of only as the Kree. You know, stuff like that. While the rest of humanity was working, we developed a culture based on peace, fellowship, and the acquisition of knowledge. We knew no poverty, injustice, sexual discrimination, war, or crime. Truly created a utopia. It's when the outside world created the atom bomb, people believed their way of life, their existence was in jeopardy. Building a starcraft, the utopians left this world to find a new home among the stars. I chose to remain behind as their sole emissary to the outside world, a role I had assumed some years before. She wanted to spread her peaceful ways into humanity. Zarda 712, aka the earlier type of Zarda, even in the very early days when she had a red helmet on, her strength was being praised by Valkyrie tears. I'm feeling this old outfit she used to wear with this helmet. Shielding to deflect gunfire. Can easily lift up vehicles like this. She can react from shots from tanks, heavy artillery, missile type stuff. Her shield can block stuff like this. Then she can throw it with enough force to slice the doggone tank like that. Strength. 60 plus ton tanks she can lift up and turn over. Casually lifting stuff like this is easy to her. She punches beings this hard to the environment. Beings that can lift up heavy BS like this. She's not only battling, but using her skills to flip them. She's strong enough to deflect blasts from Iron Man still. The main universe Iron Man. Look how hard she punched Iron Man under the water like that. At least she's physically strong enough to restrain beings like Thor while Hyperion weighs him down. Still shows she's a heavy hitter. But characters like Wonder Man are really strong. She got hit by him. Blocking blasts from Miss Marvel, who's a powerhouse. Then striking her. She's so strong, in fact, she's implied that she needs binary because she's seriously outmatched. Pimp smack. An argument can be made that this is the reason why her fighting speed is good, being able to deflect stuff with her shield on plenty of occasions. It's just a common theme at this point. Even if you manage to land a hit, it's not a guaranteed win because she's decently durable. These shock troops, get out of her way. She has the strength to lift big pillars like this and use them as weapons. If you don't stay down after one hit, she will simply tell you to stay down, little man. And if you try to spy on her bathing, she will just try to blitz and kill you in a scary kind of way. When it comes to Zarda of this universe, she has some flashy feats here and there, but let's get it. How strong are we talking? For example, you can tell she weighs more than average, because even other pet characters that have super strength ask, how much do you weigh? It must be a lot if they're asking. Seems to have no problem just chilling out in space, and imply that her fingernails are durable as well. Yeah, they have extreme longevity. I'm talking about 2,000 years old. She should be strong by default. This universe's version of her. You know, Hyperion is like another version of a Marvel Superman, you know. And they are immune to age, risk, and damage, aka all the nuances everybody else has to worry about. They don't have to worry about it. And what's a cold temperature going to do to characters like this, right? You see this tank about to land on her? How strong is she? Let's just say she ripped herself out of it. And when it comes to a lot of debris, she's strong enough to lift a lot of it out of it. Let me just grab this van and fly it to space, even if it got a nuclear warhead in it. She can pick up humans because humans are so light to her strength. She can pick them up and use them as weapons. I'm gonna beat them mother with another mother. Yeah, I don't even know why grown people think they got a chance. She goes up to an epic looking statue and says, I would like to use this spear as my own because she's skilled with weapons despite her having ridiculous levels of strength, right? I'm strong enough to use minimum force to throw a vehicle down so hard it explodes like that. And with all that strength, of course, she can punch hard. You're probably going to get tired of me bringing up ultimate versions of the characters, aka alternate reality versions of the same characters we like punching away Power Man, for example. Ultimate Power Man. The impact does all this to the ground. Punches cars so hard they explode. Literally diving into the street, tackling being so hard. She can just improvise and pick up metal posts in her hand and just curb stomp y'all with the same weapon. Against Hyperion and stuff like that, alternate reality versions of her do all this to the environment just by diving into them. You guys know the ultimate characters y'all probably getting tired of seeing in this vid. aka an alternate Iron Man she gave some business to the point where she even made him sleepy, even taking off the helmet and everything. She gets in a fight with ultimate version of the Thing to show she's a bruiser. She even has the crazy strength to restrain a being like this. No matter which reality, most versions of the Thing are brutish. She got in a slugfest with Ultimate Thor. Yeah, she even pulled up on Ultimate Hulk, like the Maniac Hulk. You can see the fight is pretty high difficulty, and he's not dressed. Zarda doesn't give a crap if he's dressed or not. They're fighting, damaging him with melee weapons, skills, parrying with shield. She's still holding her ground, punches him in this area like Zarda's like cheating for real, doing major damage, it seems. And again in the area, good lord. At this point, it even made this ultimate version of the Hulk sleepy and literally dragged him in a restaurant afterwards, bro. Are you serious? Dragged him in a store to get some clothes. She's actually gotten in more than one fight with Ultimate Thor in a pretty high difficulty fight. You see the blood punching from the raw power. You can see it for yourself on how this battle went. Yeah, literal slugfest. Yeah, that's respectable. She kind of did take an L, but did get back up a moment later. So yeah, Ultimate Thor and her was like, it was tough for those two when it comes to battle, if we're keeping it honest. Until the fight was interrupted, of course. And when it comes to her raw movement speed or flight speed, she's not necessarily Makari or nothing, but she ain't slow. I mean, when Hyperion was blitzing at somebody, she was still able to intercept and can keep up with planes. The fact she withstands full-blown blows from Hyperion that make really large craters, and she seems to get up rather quickly. Even though they say Earth's 7112 version of her has no piercing durability resistance, this other universe version of her seems to walk on broken glass like it ain't no big deal, or being slashed across the face doesn't seem like an end-all be-all. Tigers and stuff are on her, and the characters near her are worried about the tigers hurting her. She's worried about her hurting the tigers, not the tigers hurting her. Nuclear explosions she can survive. Blasts that big, which are 10 megatons. Peeped this motorcycle Ultimate Hulk through her. That created a decent explosion, and like I showed earlier, she's fine after this BS, you know. And why on blazes would you use a grenade? Like that would work. She got hacks-like abilities that absorb the life forms of others to stay young. Like, ain't that an intriguing ability? Notice how she talks about how she has to get rid of the gray hair. She takes care of that and says, "Gone now." and somehow has a way of doing some kind of healing kiss or touch. That's got to come in handy to make Hyperion all better. Super senses, where she hears stuff you're not supposed to hear. Then you got the Zarda that's from another universe, which is technically the one that's from Earth 616, and it has a super low amount of appearances. This version of her was programmed to do a certain thing or duty, thanks to Hell Lord Skyfather type beings like Mephisto. Yeah. But I gotta admit, she looks just like Wonder Woman here. Notice her strength on how she curb stomps giants. Her and Hyperion, they just fly through their heads like it ain't nothing. She can punch things out that are way bigger than herself. She's even battled Phoenix users. Even if she is a construct, she's ridiculously strong. Even if she's not battling 100% of the Phoenix, it doesn't matter. 1% of the Phoenix is ridiculously powerful. And it took a lot of extra effort to even take her down in the process. Yeah, she did get knocked out, but it took a lot of effort from two different beings ganging up on her at the same time. And Zarda, no big deal, is blocking an alternate universe version of a character like this. I'm pretty sure he's still strong in this universe as well. Even if it technically doesn't have no feats, I guess. Yeah, she messed up Allgog. Another angle of it here. I find it cool, even if this is an alternate reality version of Man God. Seeing her fighting somebody that's like a super heavyweight in an alternate reality is ridiculous. Her people also knew the ancient secret of turning people into stone. Apparently defeated Noel. All her greatest enemies make for quite the statue garden around the Citadel. Yes, that's Hela, it seems. Tigra, the giantess, Janet Van Dyne. Yeah, just let the trophies speak for themselves. I mean, just check it out. All the beings she turned into stone in her reality. Treating this chain like a lasso with all these different weapons she can use. Yeah, seriously, in this Heroes Reborn arc, it was basically like her solos the Marvel Universe. Messing up all the gods, basically. Gore, Phoenix, Hulk. Looks like he's in his Planet Hulk armor, too. This particular universe, which shall not be named in Heroes Reborn, she took on Gore the God Butcher of this universe. Stopped the attack with her bare hand. Yeah, in this reality, she solos all, even becoming Queen Zarda. The Necro Lasso? Like, bro, what? I mean, that's crazy that in a possible future that's more than likely not going to happen, Zarda, another version of herself, and a possible future version of herself works together to win against Gore at the end of time. I guess the only person she can trust is herself. But yeah, pretty much none of this stuff matters though. For the most part, the main one's right here, but I haven't even went over this one really in this vid. Her design in this universe looks pretty dope. The different styles she has, she's a super Amazonian. Notice how she still uses a blade. Still likes Hyperion, no matter which universe. Like, a lot. She doesn't need a sword, she'll straight punch you out. Yeah. She's fought alternate universe versions of Titania. Still durable enough to take a beating. This reality version is not afraid to use two swords in combat. And even separate some limbs and spill blood. She's so strong and skilled, simply teaming up on her ain't gonna matter because she's a warrior woman, breaking out of these ropes. And this is the supposed real power princess that's depowered that I've also went over a lot in this same video. They explain how she was drained, blah, blah, blah. And she got Spider-Man pinned, give you an idea of her strength. And the two power princesses meet. One depowered, the one that's powered up. Pillar. They even say it here, the two counterparts from different Earths about to face each other. Let you know no matter which continuity, they still got skills. Based on the panels right here, it proves the skill with Melee. Yep. Slice clean through you with her strength, clashing with different type of species or entities, tackled Namor, little scuffle, but got tossed. Yeah, I know I've went over a lot of different versions of her. They're pretty much all overpowered, at least in the powerhouse ranges pretty much in each version. But what do you guys think? Do you guys respect Zarda? Which version of Zarda do you respect the most? Yeah, they all have crazy fighting skills with melee weapons, slight differences here and there. One at the end of the future and one possible future in one of her versions beat freaking Gore and all that madness and Gog in another universe, but that's none of my business. But before I get going, check out my Thunder video I have on the channel as well. Respect Zarda. But thanks for the donations, guys. It helps out. Respect her. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.